I have to record so Shell can hear what I have to say. Let me see, what am I doing here? Oh. Is it time? Oh, yeah. Well, almost.
Almost. We can sit and gap for a
Couple of
minutes. So if there's something you need to do, I'm okay to sit here.
Yeah, we were just wondering, Linda, since you play for a Catholic church, you don't have anything to play for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
Oh, yes. Oh,
You
yes.
do?
Yes.
Because when I was growing up, there was no music between Good Friday and Easter morning.
Actually, there is. A lot of it, they do want, they said instrumental to support the singers, but especially this diocese, they're encouraging a lot of them to do chants, so go into that Gregorian chant thing. And this year I'm playing only for the Spanish services, and the Spanish community um, are not strong on the chant. They do a little bit of it, but the way this group has come together is they usually left it to one or two people, and so if they're not available, it's a big struggle for them. So one of the chants I'm actually going to be singing.
Huh?
In Latin.
All right.
So I've got my homework to do. But yes, there's a little bit of music that they want through the whole thing. It's going to be a full mass tonight. Tomorrow is a short service, but there's a little bit of singing that they want during it. And then Saturday is a very, very big deal. There will be a lot of singing on Saturday. Yeah, so Saturday is that's really the most auspicious times, I guess, that they do. First they do confirmations, they do baptisms, and first communions.
Oh, wow.
And this year, I don't remember what the breakdown is, except I know there's 20 for one, 19 for another, and 14 to another, and it's full immersion baptism.
Oh, geez.
So it's a long process. And they can't start the mass until after 8 p.m.
Oh.
So it starts at 8, and it's probably going to go close to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to be back for Easter service on Sunday morning, so I'll be there at 8:30 in the morning. So I think I'm just going to spread my cot on the floor, choir room, and I was trying to think about how I can get a good, I'm going to need coffee, so maybe I'll bring my own coffee pot too for the choir room.
Yeah.
And keep everything there. So I don't know. We'll see. It's always a long service on Saturday.
Wow.
But yeah, this church is not into no music, but it's very limited, and there's very specific things that they want.
Wow.
So it will be interesting.
It will. I think you've got some time off next week.
Exactly. I usually try and cut out this week so that I can be prepared for it.
Yeah.
But so many of my students have their spring break next week. It would mean that they would be missing 2 weeks in a row. So I taught up till, I was planning on teaching up till yesterday. But today I've got one student that really needs that consistency. She just has to have that there's a lot of issues, and just the consistency is really important for her.
Yeah.
So I had her, she's homeschooled, so I could have her lesson in the morning. And then there's another one this afternoon that's been giving me trouble, so I really need to work with this afternoon too. So, but I do have some time off next week, so.
Well, good. Ain't life grand?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, I can't complain though for the trials and tribulations and the extra work and stuff like that. I love my job.
Yeah.
I love both the music that I'm playing at the church. You know, it's not exactly music I would go and pick out, but
Yep.
you know, it keeps me playing. It keeps me thinking about what I got to do. Especially playing with the Spanish crew. They're always throwing new stuff at me, and
Uh-huh.
a lot of it is not already written down. Sometimes they hand me a sheet that's got lyrics on it and chord symbols. And it's like, okay. so I get to practice my ear training, and I get to practice my improvisation.
Yep.
So I you know, it challenges me, and that's what I like.
That's
I
cool.
like those kind of challenges. But yeah, I've several times I've had lead sheets thrown at me, and just, you know, lyrics only with chords, and it's like, okay, let's figure this out.
Does somebody sing the melody to you so you have some clue?
Yeah, usually I'll either record somebody singing the melody to me, or they'll find me a YouTube that's got the melody in it. So a lot of their music is online.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of the people that are in the musical groups in the Hispanic communities don't read music. Many of them are self-taught. Many of them, and they're fabulous musicians.
Yeah.
You know, they're incredibly good, incredibly strong. There's one guy that I play with on a regular basis that has such a good ear that, you know, we can just sit and it's literally us riffing against each other through a couple of things. Because
Wow.
and
What fun.
it is. I have a blast with it, because the during the communion, the offering of communion, the choir members will go downstairs from the choir loft to receive their communion, and so we just need to fill in.
Mhm.
So he and I will just take the chord structure of whatever our song is that we're going to sing for the communion, and we'll just kind of play off of it.
Uh-huh.
And one day the choir members came upstairs after receiving communion, and they're like, we're not going to touch this. You guys are too good. We're just going to leave you two to do this. You guys are on your own.
Uh-oh.
So we kept it going. I have fun with that. I like doing that kind of thing. And it's stretching me musically.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem with that.
Wow.
So
interesting.
Who would have thought that I'd go to work for a Catholic church and learn how to improvise?
Yeah.
Learn how to
not
play
what
jazz.
you would expect.
No, but it's doing it. So.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So, you've been doing any meditation?
A very little bit.
Well, every little bit counts.
Yeah. it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I can feel the days when I miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, get too busy and my anxiety level starts going up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I could tell. Even though it may not be a long one, it
Mm-hmm.
may not be in depth with anything, but just a few minutes of quiet time sometimes is all I really need.
Yeah. Important, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any questions or thoughts, Carol?
Um, not really.
Okay. It's all right. You're not required. I just offer it. Well, good. Let's open our energy gates, maybe. So stepping out, and just taking that moment to feel where you are on the earth. Feel your feet relaxing and merging down into the earth. Open to the etheric body below your feet. And then feel the head lifting off the top of the spine, opening your connection to the universe. And breathe. Let the breath slow and lengthen. Breathing down into your dantian, your sides, your lower back. Feel your breath sinking all the way to your sacrum if you can. And then breathing into your kidneys, nourishing that original energy. And into the upper back. And if you can, on up into the brain. And as you breathe, first allow your energy to sink. And then extend your mind through your body. And open to those deep flows. Begin to be aware of wherever you need to open in your body. Remember all of the energy gates, particularly at the third eye, the eyes, the ears, where the tongue touches at the roof of your mouth, and the occiput, the throat notch, shoulders, the secondary and primary gate at the shoulders, and going down, opening where each of the ribs connects to the sternum and to the spine, and the space in between. Elbows, diaphragm, midriff, lower dantian, the organs of the pelvis, wrists and hands, and qua. The knees and ankles and feet. So there are lots of energy gates that can block, but can be opened and pulsed to move the energy through your body. So any place that feels as if it's not open, breathe into it and let it release. And when you have time, you can dissolve those places. And then flowing into cloud hands, beginning to deliberately move the energy through the body. Feeling it move from the center of your dantian to the 5 extremities, toes, fingers, and crown of the head. Flowing into the swings, Let us sit. So I'm going to be talking a little bit more again today as we go into the next stage of development in this particular sequence that we're working through at the moment. So previously, we've made some first explorations into consciously connecting to the energy of the unconscious mind. And the point of this segment is, while doing inner dissolving, to become able, once you are within a blockage, to use your unconscious mind to more greatly penetrate and release from within a blockage whatever is in there. And to do this, the focus will also be on the deeper levels of your second energy body. In the beginning stages of Taoist meditation, we learned how to separate, combine, work with independently, and join together your first four energy bodies. So this is, of course, not coming out of nowhere. Now, throughout the past 150 years, there have been many, many books written in the West regarding energy work in meditation. Many earnest and enthusiastic people, filled with hope, tried to follow the instructions, often for weeks or months on end. And usually they ended up found that although they got something, it was not so much. They got the idea and they got the concept, but they never got the experience. So it is important to note that there is a difference between spiritual philosophy and reality. In psychology, there is a common saying, the picture of a tree is not a tree. You can't climb a picture. A picture of food is not food. You can't eat the picture unless perhaps you're a goat. And even if you read the picture, you can't expect it to have any taste. So words in books are intellectual ideas composed of concepts. Meditation states are the reality of the food itself. There's that's not what's being that's not what's being hinted at. They are what are the things that are being hinted at actually are. So after eating empty mind calories for a while, many people went and sought a meditation master who embodied the food and understood how to cook it, until their students began to taste the food of meditation for themselves. They went to India, they went to China, they went to Japan, they went all over the world. And no matter how nice some food sounds before you eat it, to taste the food requires a mouth and a tongue. And in the world of meditation, the unconscious mind is your mouth and tongue. It is what can open up the subtle world of your internal senses. And it is the internal senses that are what enable you to experience the various deeper levels of states of meditation, which experientially and almost impossible to comprehend through ordinary language, which also, although they are rather concrete, using the words of ordinary logic can only be hinted at rather than explicitly stated. So the reality is something that usually comes from the transmission of the teacher. It is not what comes by being in the presence of somebody who hasn't. Hopefully, this practice can help in this way. The energy of the conscious mind and the multiple energies of the unconscious mind can play a funny dance. The qualities of the conscious mind's energy to affect your overall awareness, or what is normally happening, is what the first part of this sequence that we worked on was all about. That that has given you a much needed foundation. It is said that 90% of what goes on, that drives and motivates us, happens at the deepest level of the unconscious mind. And most of us are not completely consciously aware of what goes on there. It is becoming able to be aware of what is going on down there in the unconscious mind and being able to use it. That is the purpose of this segment. There are many modalities which use various techniques of programming or reprogramming the unconscious mind, the aspect of your mind which subliminally tells you how to perform, to behave, to change or not to change long instilled habits, so that you can use these methods to rewrite the scripts that are written inside your unconscious mind that drive you, commonly without you knowing how or even if they were operating. How well they work or don't work is variable, depending upon the person. Hypnosis, for instance, is used to help people lose weight, stop smoking, or enable athletes to perform better by instilling images of how to move or strategize better in the middle of the pressure in their chosen sport. And it's been used negatively through the advertising industry and all sorts of mind control games to control small and large groups of people without them knowing. Why? Because you're rewriting a script in your unconscious mind, and your unconscious mind does not know anything about the script. It just tells your conscious mind what to do, and your conscious mind very often has no power to override it. However, hypnotic methods, although they may be used for specific behavioral changes, don't really change what is driving your deepest motivations. They simply, primarily, put an overlay over them and usually don't open up a person's entire energetic system. If you want a small change, hypnosis is good. If you want a big change, it's not likely to work too well. So without changing the roots of what is stuck inside you and making it free to spontaneously respond to any situation, this can't lead to freeing what needs to be freed for someone to arrive at deep and pervading internal freedom and peace of mind. Hypnosis is a patch. It's not a complete spiritual solution. So for this, A meditation practitioner needs to be able to directly experience the energy of the unconscious mind on a regular basis, not just sometimes while meditating. Regardless of whether they use the primary meditation methods of dissolving and letting go or transformation of energy. When using the inner dissolving method, the experience of the energy which moves within the unconscious mind is at first quite vague, rather than crystal clear. However, as you work with it more and more, the experience of the energy of the unconscious mind evolves. It goes from the kind of sort of recognize it to, even if you don't have a clue what content is inside of it, you do definitely have a sense that it is what you're feeling. You feel what that energy is, until over time you begin to get a direct access to the special qualities of the energies, and very often the sense of the conscious, of the compulsions or the momentum of the unconscious mind that which are created inside of you. Does the last stage happen in a few weeks or months? Not likely. Actually, it takes years. So this recognition of what is in your unconscious mind happens at a bit like the sun rising and dispelling the light, which moves from almost pitch black in the first few minutes to the switchover of night to day, to the growing brightness of the sun starting to rise toward high noon. And when you arrive at 9 or 10 in the morning, you arrive at being at complete peace of mind, or personal enlightenment, as they say in Asia. Our beginning work in this segment helped us to begin to explore how to use the extraordinary intent you have inside of you to release the blockages that your conscious mind is capable of dissolving. Our intention now is to be going to more subtle, which means it ultimately is more powerful in terms of stress release. If someone can release the blocked chi of the second energy body, which is the energy that tells your body how to perform, that your entire acupuncture system is keyed into, that's usually enough release and relief for most people to get better, to get through the day. However, on a case-by-case basis, that might not be enough. And why? Because your second energy body is overly connected to all your higher energy bodies. The connecting point with higher and lower energy bodies passes pass each other in your unconscious mind. And you might ask, why should I care? What is it to me? Well, it's like a mosquito bite. You can scratch it and get temporary relief and feel better for a few seconds. But wait a little while, because the underlying cause is not taken care of. And that itch will return again and again and again, and possibly get bigger, tear open, and begin to move towards being an infection, which can cause your emotional and mental bodies and the others to become equally irritated. This can cause a few internal blockages to emerge in the other energy bodies. So the problem grows and is something that lingers, and worse yet, grows catalyzing other blockages in unpleasant ways. If you're going to resolve the root, you need to do so using the unconscious mind. So let's sit and begin to work on this. So relax your breath and allow your mind to calm. And then bring your attention to the crown of your head. Feel with the energy of your conscious mind for the first blockage that you find. And then let yourself go a bit more subtle and feel for the more subtle energy of your unconscious mind. And use both together to penetrate, dissolve, and resolve the blockage as best you can. And after you've been doing this for a while, see if you could switch over and rely solely on using the feeling of your unconscious mind to generate the energy to penetrate your blockage. As you continue to go deeper into the blockage, now really solely feel your unconscious mind and enable it to dissolve the blockage. You're no longer particularly using your conscious mind, you're using the unconscious mind, and your conscious mind is just enabling you to get the feedback from your unconscious mind. To dissolve the blockage. And this may be an entirely new quality of experience in inner dissolving, especially as you progress and become more aware of the energy behind the energy of the immediate blockage you are working on. Continue to dissolve with the unconscious mind. Let your unconscious mind penetrate the blockage. And it is what you're feeling in your unconscious mind that is telling you how blocked or unblocked this blockage is, not your conscious mind. Your conscious mind will bring the information to your normal conscious awareness. But your unconscious mind is actually what's going to be telling your conscious mind what it's feeling. Now, as you go to the energy behind the blockage, remember it is your unconscious mind that is paying attention to the energy behind. And yes, your conscious mind has its role to play, as we saw in the beginning parts of this meditation program. But now it's your unconscious mind with inner dissolving that's necessary for you to start realizing what is happening at depth inside you, not on the surface. Ice to water, water to inner space. Let your mind go even more quiet. Now, for a moment, let yourself relax and rest. This is the end of the first stage of this practice, part A, if you will. It's a subtle thing keying into the unconscious mind. It has a different feel. That's the only way to describe it. Some people, when they recognize that something is blocked or something is going on, will get it from a sense of vibration. Or it could be just a sensation. Some people will just find that somehow the light inside them will shift. But the most reliable way of doing this is through feeling sensation and vibration. Lao Tzu's entire method is a yin method of meditation. Yang methods of meditation focus on light. As you move into the more advanced stages of inner dissolving, light starts becoming rather important. It's where the yin, or the feeling in the sound, in the vibration, and the light in the yang begin to start merging, moving across each other. But in the beginning, this is a yin method. It is one of the distinguishing characteristics of Lao Tzu's method of meditation. So we're going to sit and begin the second part or stage of this meditation. So just sit and settle in again if you need. Keep the back straight. And relax and smooth your breath. And if you can, breathe with your belly, sides, your kidneys, your upper back. Basic Taoist breathing. If you can, try and breathe with the upper part of your lungs, and not only the lower part of your lungs. And then bring your attention to the crown of your head. And let your unconscious mind feel the crown of your head. Let your unconscious mind connect to the crown of your head. Now feel downward until you encounter a blockage. And using inner dissolving, dissolve the blockage you have found. Ice to water, water to inner space. Use the energy of your unconscious mind to both penetrate the blockage and dissolve it. If your unconscious mind is going into the blockage, are you feeling more of what's in there? Are there other qualities coming in which may not be sharp and clear? Because very often at first, the unconscious mind is not sharp and clear. Can you feel something that is different than outer dissolving? Something that is a different quality, that is taking you right into where you really operate from. Then when you have a better sense of that, use that energy of your unconscious mind to dissolve the blockage. It might be helpful to know that inside that blockage is all 7 of your energy blockages. They're all within that one single blockage. And almost all of them are likely to be operating, to be active to some degree or another. Only as you learned in earlier segments, focus your mind to isolate on just the second energy body, the chi, the energy that runs your physical body, and only dissolve that one. Inside the blockage, isolate down to that one thing, just the chi that runs your body. And to the best of your ability, let your emotional, mental, and other energy bodies alone. Don't activate them. Focus purely on the second energy body. Normally, when you dissolve a blockage, all the energy bodies active within the blockage can seem all jumbled up, like the ingredients in a giant stew, where it's hard to tell which one is which. But your task right now is to make sure you only use the energy of your unconscious mind to dissolve the second energy body. And begin to become familiar with what could be in there, so that later, when inner dissolving a single blockage, you have the flexibility to simultaneously target more and more energy bodies, or a minimum. Recognize if you are neglecting one or the other, which is ultimately what extends the time it takes to fully resolve any blockage into emptiness. And as you come to recognize what's in your second energy body, understand that all 7 of your energy bodies are connected. And as we go further and further, we're going to be looking at how to recognize how one affects the other. Because when you can dissolve and hit the balance between one energy body and another, you can make sure that neither one holds up the process, and that each one causes the other ones to release faster. And as you get better and better, you're going to be able to do this across more energy bodies within a single blockage. And now begin to relax and move towards closing whenever you're ready. Sending all benefit gained from this practice out to help all the sentient creatures of the universe. How many last minute questions or thoughts? A lot to take in. Well, you'll have the video and the notes.
Yes, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Good to see you, and sending our best energies and wishes to Shell.
Yes.
Yes.
And see you Monday, Carol.
Yes. I'm thinking though, this next class, I'll have to check my calendar, but John has an appointment very close to the class time. Yeah, he has an 11 o'clock appointment with his tooth guy. So if I can make it at all, it'll be Zoom.
Okay. Better than not. Good. Thank you. Have a good few days.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rising spring.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw a bunch of different daffodil beds.
Uh-huh.
Just
Yep.
wide expanses of daffodils and a few forsythia in bloom.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a funny little magnolia that's all covered with white cotton balls right now.
Good. Yes, Jane cut some daffodils in the yard, so that was nice to have fresh flowers.
Yeah.
Starting.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. So.
with any kind of good luck.
Yep. Good seeing you, Carol.
Good seeing you too.
Happy Easter and see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a happy Easter.
Thank you. And you.
We Taoists don't celebrate that one too much, but
Excuse to go have a meal with some relatives. So
right, we'll have a nice meal. We'll manage that.
yeah, that's about the extent of our ritual for it.
Good. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.